Welcome back to Just Some BS Podcast. Today's a little bit different. I'm very excited about this because this is a bit of a touchy subject. And last time I had Mike on the podcast / 8-Bit on the podcast. We talked about another. I don't know if you've seen some of the comments from Jenny Nicholson's video, but Nicholson, I think it's Nicholson, right? Anyway, last time we did some Disney stuff, people got upset. So we're going to do Disney adults because that's a trigger word as well. And we're both Disney adults and we're going to talk about it today. So Mike, thanks for coming back on.
Happy to be here. You know, I can't say no to you clause engaged with you always. So thank you for having me. It's an honor to be back.
I just want to give you a little shout out. You did some red carpet stuff lately. Tell us about how that was.
I did. I covered the Dallas International Film Festival. There were a couple of movie premieres there. It was a lot of fun. Yeah, it's something I do on the side. I interview people. I talk to people. The Texas film bill went through this week, so there's a massive influx of tax incentives. So there will be more movies and TV shows filmed here in Texas. So I think that'll pull me into some other fun stuff. So yeah, it was great.
What was the hardest part about it?
Yeah. So I overdo everything, you know that. So, you know, for an example, like a 7-minute YouTube video, I make 10 different versions of it and I edit it for like 4 weeks. The research on every possible person that would have walked on the red carpet. So learning about their history, their career, what they care about. So I can ask them questions, make them feel comfortable and kind of bring a familiar vibe to the red carpet. So just the research is the most interesting part. And I learned a lot about some of these actors.
What was the best part?
Most of them were musicians. So like I've got some instruments behind me. I'm a musician. So it really was just kind of like talking about the things they're passionate about. There were a couple of voice actors that did some video game stuff. So really diving into that and their process behind that and learning more about why they enjoy it and how they got into it. So it's really interesting because I ask questions. I kind of think about like, what can people get out of this to make them learn something different rather than just being like, hey, I'm a cool guy on the red carpet. Like, you know, because I have zero cool. So it's just fun.
Were you the most colorful person there that was asking questions?
Yes, it was. I got a bit of a reputation. You kind of know how I bring the energy, but the guy that owned the theater, every time he saw me come in, he's like, oh, there's a party tonight. You're here. Something big's going on. I'm like, brother, I don't know. Yeah, I guess. I don't know.
So I thought your videos were awesome. If people are interested in seeing what that's like, where can they go to find it?
8-Bit Blood on YouTube. Yeah,
it was really cool. I thought the approach was really cool. It's quite different and way less formal, which, as you know, that is definitely down my jam as well. So it was awesome.
It's fun. And I have like a 30-minute press interview that I have just in the can too, but I tried to make like a 5-minute video to show people what it looks like behind the scenes.
Yeah, it's really cool. It's a world that I don't think a lot of people get to see a lot of that because usually it's so polished. So it was really cool that they let you just kind of have creative freedom and pull whatever you wanted.
No one says no to me. I just go where I want to go until I get yelled at. And I never get yelled at because I'm always smiling.
If you smile enough, you can get into most places.
If you're friendly and big and smile, not many people get in your way.
That's really funny. All right. So I'm going to hook this episode and this is how I'm going to do it. Because I did a little script and usually I don't do this. So if you've ever looked at someone wearing mouse ears at a grocery store and thought, why? This episode's for you. So we are answering the 10 questions people always ask or silently judge online or in person about Disney adults. And no, it's not just about churros and trauma. Because that's apparently what a lot of people think. So
trauma.
Right.
Churros.
Yeah, I know. It is. We're for some reason we're a hated breed, and we're going to talk about maybe why or not why. So I have 10 questions. My thought is I'm going to ask the question. I'll ask you first, and you give an answer. I'll give an answer, and we'll just kind of work through this as what we enjoy about Disney World and why we keep going.
Love it.
Okay, question 1: aren't Disney adults just grown-up kids who won't let go?
Oh man, I mean, like, I think that's half true, but I don't see the problem with like being a grown-up kid. I don't see that as an insult. I see that as kind of a compliment. But you know, I'm goofy. But like the part just won't grow up. Like, I don't know. I think for the most part, if you can afford to be a Disney adult, you have some responsibility. You are somewhat grown if you're in that category. There are some that I don't know, maybe won't fall in it. I don't know. It's, I that is a little harsh. I get it. But no, I don't think we haven't grown up. I think we just kind of tend to lean towards things that are a little more fun than a lot of the normal adult stuff that people get into. We're more playful, creative people. We want to be in a playful, creative experience.
Yeah, so mine's probably completely opposite of that answer, which is why I wanted to have you on, because I figured you were going to be in that headspace. To me, we both actually do quite a bit of traveling, and we touched on the money piece. Disney is not cheap for sure, and there's an expense to it, and I think that's part of the rub is that why would you keep going to that if you don't have, like, we both don't take children most of the time to Disney, so. It's probably a weird bird, but for me, for all the places that we've been, which is quite a few so far and more to come, from the expense side of things in the experience, I think there's not many other places on the planet that has the customer service perspective that you'll get. You will pay for it, but I'm talking even down to food allergies. Like, they will pull out a 3-ring binder and show you every ingredient that's in something for every food that exists in every park. That doesn't happen anywhere else. And when you have individuals that have those types of food allergies, that is a really big deal. People go there because they know they can eat things, because they know exactly what is going to be in things, because they can ask those questions. So even beyond that, whenever you have an issue, you just have to ask someone and it gets resolved. Like, always gets resolved.
That's a good point. The cohesion of the customer service from big to small really takes care of a lot of the experience and, like, gets rid of the headaches that you normally would get doing something else or going to another location. That's a good point, because the customer service is like, it's so fun and so seamless. Most of the time you don't even notice it until you have to go up and, like, hey. But if you don't ever have that hey moment, like, you don't even really notice how good it is.
Yeah, and we're talking millions of, like, the bathrooms are always clean.
Yes,
the amount of people who go through those parks, and how many times have you been to bathrooms who are absolutely disgusting? I mean, like train stations and bus stations and normal places that doesn't exist. To here it does. So for me, it's a value thing of what you're paying for and what you're getting just from a non-annoyance is a huge piece for me.
Absolutely. And the safety aspect of it too. Like, we don't typically go with kids, like you said, but if you do have kids, the safety aspect of the parks and the experience, I can't think of another big scale event, theme park situation thing that like the kids are as safe as they are at Disney. Now, there are other stories that pop up every now and then. They're bad actors, but for the most part, Disney is a pretty safe place for everybody.
Yeah. And they're constantly evolving too. It's one of the things I appreciate. So yes, it is really fun. It can be super, super childish in parts, but if you look at the grand scheme of things from a food, accommodation, service perspective, I think the value is pretty high in that scenario.
Yeah.
Cool.
Interesting. They say that we don't grow up and we're just holding on to kids things, huh?
Yeah, there'll be more of that, I think, but I don't know. Okay. I haven't read through all of these.
Interesting.
Question 2. Isn't it weird to go without kids?
I mean,
you've done both and I've done both.
Yeah, I would say no for what the experience has to offer. I mean, there's enough going on for every age range.
Oh, it's so good.
It's pretty great. So there's enough to keep adults busy and entertained. You don't, and look, I don't want to say kids are an anchor, okay? But they do tend to slow you down a little bit. You got to maximize your fun. Sometimes it's easier without the kids. But no, I don't think that's weird at all. I don't.
I think there's a lot less pressure without kids, right? Because kids, you want, like, that's what we love to do. We love to make sure they're having the greatest time, especially in a place where it is expensive, right? So I think the expense and the children can maximize the pressure for probably parents, because you want to make sure you get maximum value for what you're spending because it is expensive. And then you also want to make sure like your kids are blown away because this is an experience, you know, you may not go many times or may only go once, which adds to the pressure. So without them, you may not have as much pressure, but I have seen adults who go by themselves who add that pressure because it's like, I may not do this a lot, so I want to make sure I hit everything. But I would say the ability to pivot and not get upset is a big thing, because you have to be able to pivot in Disney. Like if you're not going to get on something, you have to be able to go to something else. That transition is obviously tougher for kids because we can as adults go, okay, that sucks, but I'm going to move on to something else. I guess not all adults do, but most of us.
Not and for the most part, I think we're in the category of Disney adult to where even though the kids might not be with us, we're aware of the kids in our atmosphere, right? And we're moving in a way to where we're not knocking their experience down in any way. Like we're not running in front of kids trying to get this stuff.
No.
We're making sure they get the experience they want, because honestly, like we go enough, we've experienced almost everything there. So even though we might not be with a group of people, like going into a new area of the park where you see a group that kids have never been there before and they're oohing and awing, we give them space. You kind of have to be in the moment and experience kind of what's going on around you. Like I'm aware of that at least. And I don't ever want to take those moments away from the people that have kids.
Yeah. No, I think it's just being respectful, right? So I don't think, but I love what you said at the beginning. It's not weird to go without kids because the magic is every age group, from young children to I see couples that are older or elderly that are going, that have the ears. Right. You can tell by their merchandise. They've been here many a times, right? So there's there's literally something for everything, from a beer garden in Hollywood Studios to Little Mermaid in Magic Kingdom. Like the spectrum is just enormous.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Well said.
Okay. That was 2. 3. Don't you get bored after the first trip?
I mean, no. Like, no.
Why?
Well, so we have like our rituals, right? We have the certain way we start the day. We have the certain like path we go through. We have our rituals there. And occasionally we veer off and like something will be added and we do something new. But like the life and energy of the theme park isn't the same on any day. Ooh. So based on the, like, for instance, like there might be Italy may have gotten out of school and there's a massive influx of like an Italian community going through the parks. So you hear different languages, you feel different energy. There's different type of movement around the park. And so it's kind of cool to see different areas swell up and kind of people and energy moving around. But a lot of, for me and Aaron, like it's like one of our traditions. Like you have people that go on cruises that love cruises. We don't do cruises. You know, you can say the argument that Disney World is like a big cruise ship, and it kind of is. And I get that, but there's more freedom for me in moving around and going from place to place. But we just love like having those moments and remembering those moments we had with the kids that we've taken there, like my nieces, like when they were really young. So it's like we're revisiting those spots where we had those memories. So it's like those spaces kind of carry those beautiful moments, and we can visit them. We can kind of go through the park and feel that too. So it's interesting because it's not just like the first trip is one and done. It's like the energy of each trip kind of stays in the park. You go and visit and add to it. And some days can be bad. Sometimes you have terrible days in the park. Rain's bad, you get a stomach ache or whatever, and that's all part of it too. But we've never been bored. And I tried to like count how many times we've been. I don't even want to throw that number out there.
It's more than 10.
Greater than 10 by like a multitude. Anyway. But no, it doesn't get boring for us because we have a lot of fun together. We have familiarity in the park. We have memories in the park, and we kind of visit those memories there and experience them again in a different way.
Yeah, to me, I put this in the exact same category of the people who have nostalgic around visiting the same beach house for 20 years.
Right.
So, like, it's the same thing. It's the same beach. It's probably the same restaurants. You probably love going to get pizza from the same place, and you love the house because of the memories you have in it.
Yes.
It's no different.
No different.
But it's constantly evolving at Disney, where the beach may not be, or maybe based on where you're going. But what I would say is like, some of my favorite things in the world, i.e. Star Wars, i.e. rides, good food, different food, like it all exists in one place. I don't have to go to a bunch of different things. Even, I mean, if want to be fair, like Epcot's my favorite park because there's so much to see and there's so much to experience that like one trip will never be enough at Epcot. You have to go multiple times to eat, and then they're changing the food all the time and they're having events and the flower festival and like they're very good at keeping you locked in because you have never seen everything, even if you've been to the park 10 times. That's the evolution. I mean, there's entire YouTube channels around the evolution of the food, of how it changes at Disney, because it changes what, quarterly?
Yeah, pretty much every quarter there's something new going on there, especially with the festivals and stuff. It changes up everything. The look, the vibe, the feel, the food, the flow, different.
Yeah. So yeah, I am not bored. I think after I'm done with a trip, I think I'm good for a while, and then I start missing it again in probably like 6 months, and I'm like, because now we're comfortable with where we stay, what we like to do. Once you get a routine, and I think once again, this goes back to the pressure and stress. Once that's removed, it's actually like you actually start appreciating the tiny things way more, because you're not running from ride to ride to ride. You're like, oh, I never saw this statue before. It's bronze, whatever, right?
And that's why when people ask like about Disney and they've never been, I'm like, ooh, let me plan your trip. Let me help you figure out where to stay. Like, what are you into? What do you like? And then you kind of map out that trip for them. Like, okay, this will remove all that stress and headache of like, is the room going to be okay? Because if you get a recommendation from me or Brandon here, it's like, it's going to be a good room. You're going to be happy.
Exactly.
So that's out of it. Like, you're good there.
My sister just went, we took my nephews in March, and the whole thing was her experience was perfect. I want to take the kids, but I don't have to learn everything, because there is a lot, right? If you're not if you're not a planner, the place is kind of a nightmare at the beginning.
It's a little overwhelming.
A little, dude. It's hella overwhelming.
So like I started going before the app like matured. So there wasn't really an app that was a part of the process. Like my first trip was when I turned 30 years old, and we went a lot since then. I'm not going to tell you how many times, but yeah, so it was just like us in the park, and it was paper fast passes back then. So it was the older system. So it was kind of fun, but to your point, like the evolution of it and all that stuff, it has gotten easier, but it is overwhelming if you've never seen kind of that initial barrier, like stepping into the park. It is overwhelming.
Yeah, that's a good, and that's exactly why she was like, you guys know what you're doing. Can we just follow you? And that was just an awesome experience to be like, okay, this is where we're going now. And she was so happy because she didn't have to think. It was just like, follow them wherever they're going.
It's so great. Yeah. Once you get to this point, you kind of become like a VIP guide without like front of line access to stuff, but you're basically marching people to where they should go. And then like, okay, go do your thing. I'll be here when you're done. Okay.
And like even the best bathrooms, right? There's the secret bathrooms, or where to go and find a table in the middle of the day when it's packed, right? Or
we can't share secret bathrooms here. That's no, they're not ready for
Rapunzel.
That. Stop it! No, yes, it's Rapunzel.
Yes. So in this list that I came up with questions, it gave me little like funny things to say back, and under this one, so don't forget, this question was, don't you get bored after the first trip? It says the person who rewatches The Office for the 17th time. Take that, Disney adult haters.
That is a good point. Also, if we're getting sassy, I can talk about the price. People complain about prices all the time. Do you know how much a Dallas Stars playoff ticket is right now? There's a game, I think, that starts in 30 minutes here. $700 for 3 hours of a playoff game. So it's like the sports fans are just as crazy as Disney adults. Nobody can argue that. Like they're just as crazy. They're just leaning into sport. All right. They're the same.
I want people to go and do whatever that makes them happy. Why does it matter?
Great point right there. And I want to say something sassy, but you said it. That's perfect.
whatever you're comfortable spending in that thing, just go do it. If it makes you happy, who cares?
Yeah, be responsible and grow up. Do the thing.
Okay, next question. Is it just nostalgia, or is it something deeper?
I think it's something a little bit deeper. Because like I didn't have the tie to the parks when I first went. So there was like no nostalgia for me. Like obviously characters with rides and all that stuff was cool, but like there was not really any nostalgia for me. It was more of like, I noticed the architecture. I noticed the flow of Main Street. I noticed like the design aspects of it, the way people moved in the park, the scents, like all the little things, and like the customer service, like you said, seeing all those little pieces kind of being tightened up and everything being so well put together. I was more impressed with like the execution of something at that scale. So the nostalgia wasn't the first thing to hit me. Like hearing the music walking down Main Street, that came later when we like took the nieces and we had those moments where you remember when they were younger. So like there is a lot of that nostalgia, but in the beginning, that's not really what kind of built it up for me. It was just appreciating kind of everything that was built, like Walt's vision to create a place where he and his like kids could have a good time together equally. And I was like, wow, he kind of did that. And I heard people talk about it. I've seen pictures of it. I never thought it'd be for me. I'm like, okay, this is really cool. I appreciate this. But yeah, nostalgia came in later with my experiences in the park. And so my memories with the people I've taken, like being with y'all and all that stuff, like those are great memories. So now that's the nostalgia that I take with me. It's tied to the park. So I guess so, but not really the typical way.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think it builds itself in just like anything. Like, why do you
Yeah.
choose to go the first time? I think I'm with you.
Yeah.
I think that's what amazed me was the ease, because I was like new things. I get super anxious about it. I have to be super prepared. I had all these different plans. Then we got there and I was like, wow, I'm glad I'm prepared, but this is way easier than what I thought it was going to be, because all I heard was just chaos and people everywhere. Like there's ways to get around that. Normally you'll have to pay to get around that. But like, if you're willing to do that, it won't be as pressure filled and you won't be standing in line for hours on end. Now, I'm with you. So I think it's so fascinating when companies have like a really strong like mission statement or a just cause statement. And if you're going to claim to be the happiest place on earth, you better get a lot of shit right.
Yes.
Like process, SOPs, employee values. They have to be smiling. They have to show up. They have to like, they don't tell you, oh, down to the right is the bathroom. They'll like go walk you. It's almost like what I read about the Ritz-Carlton. Like that's their approach too, is like they have behavioral weeks. So if you're going to claim to be the happiest place on earth, when you have a situation, and Mike, you and I got to experience one in the line for Haunted Mansion where people actually almost started fighting in line. Disney cast members came out of the woodwork in like 3 seconds. And shut it down and completely dissolved the entire thing. I don't know where all those people came from. It was crazy town.
It was the how quickly that got diffused was impressive. And like at one point in a previous life, I worked at a psych facility, and I was the person to go run if there was an emergency, and I would diffuse the situation the best way. It was really impressive because like we talked about before, I got between like my wife and the problem, right? So I like stepped in front of her. She wanted to see everything. I'm like,
to be fair, he stepped in front of all of us and I hid behind him.
No, you didn't. No, you didn't. But I was like, I had to assess the situation. I had to decide if like, do I need to act right now? And so it's like Aaron got mad. She's like, I want to see what's going on. But all of a sudden I just see like people come out that are clearly tied to Disney security or trained appropriately to kind of move that off, secure the area, get it. It was like probably 30 to 40 seconds. Incident started, the line's moving again, we're getting on a ride. And it was like, wow, like that was quick. So like all the videos you see online of like fights at Disney, like those probably didn't last very long. So it's like, and stuff's going to happen when there's a mass of people and it's hot and all that. But yeah, their staff came out of nowhere. That was wild.
Yeah, it was the first time I've ever been in that situation. And we were like inside, ready to get on the ride. We were in the cattle chute. We were in the worst possible scenario, right? So it could have
pitch black almost.
It could have gotten bad, and it was diffused in literally under a minute. And we were actually stepping onto the ride, I think, like in like a minute and 10 seconds from when it started. It was crazy.
It was the weirdest situation that spun up and just disappeared so fast. And I'm like, that was kind of a big deal.
It was a huge
someone
deal.
Holding a baby throwing punches.
And there was like,
and now they're gone.
It wasn't 2 people. There was like 10 people involved.
Yeah, it was a group. It
was 2 groups going at it, and it was crazy. But so once again, happiest place on earth. That stuff will happen, but how you're going to handle that, the training, I can't imagine the training and all the things that go into just moving through what's important, safety procedures, all the medical staff they have on site. Like it's just, it's wild.
Yeah.
That one says, spoiler, it's both. It's about identity, safety, and chasing a little joy when the world feels heavy. Dang.
Wow. I like that.
ChatGPT coming in strong with these
Wow,
questions and
man.
these zingers.
Sounds like a sentimental human right there. Gross.
Next question. How much money have you spent on Disney stuff?
Oh man. So honestly, around Disney, so
Are
like
you a big merch guy? You and Aaron aren't big merch people there.
not really. Like every other trip, Aaron might get ears. Every like third trip, I might get a shirt. If I see something cool that has the Muppets on it, RIP.
They're leaving
Anyway.
Hollywood studios, those of you who don't know.
Everybody knows it's sad. It's heartbreaking. But no, we're not big merch people. So like we pretty much pay for like the hotel, the park, the food and snacks. And like we don't really do a whole lot of merchandise in the park. We did like the experiences like building a lightsaber and like stuff like that are experience based. But yeah, we don't spend a ton of money. So like the popcorn buckets that pop up, like I'm good. Like I don't want the headache of packing it and getting it home. Like I don't care how cool they are. I bought like an R2D2 cup that was neat, that was like a Stein, and that was like a decade ago. Like I don't really seek out merch. I keep an eye on it because some of it's pretty cool, and like from like a creative design aspect, like I'm like, oh, that's a really cool look. I like that. I'm bringing that character back for this. But yeah, we're not big merch people.
Unless it's Figment.
Absolutely, and there needs to be more. We need to bring back the comic book.
There's a Figment comic book?
Is that a question? Of course. There's so much history I need to catch you up on.
Oh my God. Figment is literally the best and the worst all at the same time.
Yeah, it's 100% true. Yeah.
So
what about you?
Yeah. So obviously I'm a hat junkie. I got to get at least one hat if I can find one that I like. And then I love the jersey sweatshirts. Like
those are good.
They're so comfortable.
Those are good.
The large like fits perfectly. It's just a little loose, but not too loose. And like for some reason that like medium warmth is like perfect for like early fall and late spring around here. So I really enjoy that.
My geography does not allow me to get long sleeve anything.
Yes, no.
But I do love a good Spirit jersey. Whenever we take like the nieces, like they always end up with at least one on a trip. So they tend to come away with one. Aaron might get one every other trip.
Yeah.
But yeah, do love the Spirit jerseys.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of the lightsabers too. Like I love going into the Star Wars store and just looking around, and I'll usually grab some of the older lightsabers from like way in the past characters. But outside of that, yeah, I mean, it's really around food for me.
Yeah, and I think most like Disney adults that live in the area, there are a lot of complaints about them like going into the park and like buying up a bunch of the merch. But I think for the most part, like true Disney fans will kind of look down at that because they're reselling it. Like most Disney adults aren't into reselling stuff. So, I mean, there are some people that like go in and just buy up all the merch with a new release and just start selling it online or collecting
Pulling the whole COVID toilet paper scam.
Yeah.
So the jazzy line for this one was define spend. Is it spending or investing in dopamine? That was bad, chat. How dare you?
Yeah, man. Jeez.
Isn't it all for kids though? Question mark.
I mean, no, clearly not. I mean, there's a nice, it covers most ages. It does lean towards a little bit younger, but there is enough for adults there to be entertained in some of the rides. And yeah, the rides aren't as extreme. Like people will go to Universal to get some of the more extreme rides and experiences. But like honestly, like we don't really look for that outside of Disney anyway. So it's like right at a perfect level. Like I don't want to be on the verge of throwing up on a ride. So it's like I'm okay with it not being like super duper extreme and unsafe for a younger audience. Like I don't think it's just for kids. There's enough going on to kind of give everyone a good trip, whether you're traveling with kids or just by yourself. I don't think it's just for kids.
Yeah, I even think some of the experiences that get missed a lot, like Hall of Presidents, I was surprised at how amazing it was.
Yeah.
Like the history, the screen, the animatronics, like there's some gems in there that are really for adults, and then the kids go in just for air conditioning. But there's a couple bangers. Like obviously the Carousel of Progress is a super favorite. I love the People Mover for some strange reason.
What is that? I love it too. We all love it. What is that?
I don't
It's
know.
lame. You look at it on the surface, it's lame, but it's like the coolest thing ever. Like, yeah, I'm on the People Mover. It's officially started. The trip has started.
And like the escalators made by like Michelin tires or whatever.
Stupid. Yeah, we're like the late 70s. Like, what are we doing? But we love it. We love it.
I don't know what it is. I think it's just one of those things where it's like you get to see. I don't even like, you know, I do love some other ones. I mean, the Living with the Land. I think that always amazes me going in the back there. I don't know. There's some real adult stuff.
Living with the Land always makes me think like when I get home, I'm going to start a hydroponic garden. Aaron, I need like 50 tilapia in a big bucket. All right. We're going to eat nothing but lettuce that grows out of water for the next 6 months. It never happened.
I love all that stuff. And I even think if you do your research, even like, I mean, if you don't go with children, like some of the bars that you can get to that you're usually not packed, because those are experiences that you don't normally get to, because a lot of people go with children. So there's some hidden pockets, like this new Epcot bar. I think people are upset about that because you're not going to be able to take children in, but like it's going to be amazing.
I think it's going to be fun. And to your point, like the food and drink there, like there's so many food and drink options that are very clearly not for kids, like very exotic stuff and like alcohol, obviously. Like it's come a long way because like the food and wine festival and like the art festival, like, man, those are so great for adults just to kind of walk around and try stuff out and just see art. Like it's fun. It's really cool. Kids don't really care about that kind of stuff. So
no, I would say I'm with you. I think the art festival, we caught that on the tail end though one year, I think. And we only went into a couple tents and it was incredible.
Yeah, it was neat.
It kind of blew me away. I mean, the prices were, but I get it. It's art. So
yeah. It's nice that it's there. We never buy anything, but we always look at it.
Yeah. I think it's not just for kids because Disney isn't just rides.
True. Very true. Very true.
And like Cosmic Rewind is not a kid's ride.
No, that is so fun. That ride is so fun.
It's my favorite ride on the planet right now.
It's hard to beat.
It's very good. And I would say it's probably the top of the list for thrill or exciting for Disney, but it's probably not I've never rode the Velocicoaster, but I heard that's like nuts over at Universal.
Yeah, I've heard that too.
So it's probably the closest thing to that. But if you're only going for thrills, Disney's not your place. If you're going for experience, for service, for ease, for food options, for all the entire package, I think that's what it delivers on.
Agreed.
And the resorts. I mean, the smell of the resorts alone.
I know. Yeah, we have our Aaron's cousin up in New York. Like every other birthday, we'll get like a candle that smells like the beach club resort. And there's something about that scent that just kind of come into the house. It's like, oh, it's time to go back.
They've obviously done their. That's the other thing that amazes me about Disney. They, like any good marketer, have done their research around smell, around sight, around colors, around ease, around like how many trash cans, where they're placed. Like there's not trash anywhere.
Yeah.
And
you think about them dropping the ball on one of those, like trash being a problem. We've all played Roller Coaster Simulator. We all know what that turns into. Oh, yeah, Roller Coaster Tycoon. We all know what happens.
You get very unhappy people, and your rank just starts going into the toilet. Yeah, there's many things that you don't even think about while you're in there because, like you said, you don't have to think about them because they're taken care of all the time.
Yeah,
even when it's packed. The amount of food they push through, and like the made to order now, the pick up and go, there's these little tricks and tips you can do that like wait times aren't an issue if you know what you're doing.
No. Yeah. It really, it's a weird, cause it's like a low key white glove service operating kind of below all the things you wouldn't expect it to be in. Like you said, the bathrooms, the trash situation, like it's all really, really well done. And those have to be well done. They know what has to be well done. And the things that like aren't as important, they still stress that they are important to them, and because that means something to us as guests when we go in there.
Yeah.
So they're very thoughtful about what they put their energy into. And there's so many things that we don't even notice.
Correct.
That's wild. And like to your point, like the scents, like you walk down Main Street, you're getting scents pumped into Main Street just to make you feel. Obviously, they want you to buy like a cookie or something, but it makes you feel like you're smelling like, you know, grandma's cookies or something like that. It smells homey in a weird way. But even still, it's 9 degrees humid in the summer, but you still smell like cookies. I'm like, I like that better than human bodies. Like, thank you for that.
Even like the Christmas parade, right? Like pumping snow. It's snowing during the Christmas parade.
And that's one of those magical moments, because sometimes you remember that it's happening and then sometimes you don't, and it just starts happening. And it's like, oh my God, like I'm a 45-year-old man just oohing and awing at like whatever chemicals they're using for fake snow, but I'm loving it.
Well, back to the safety thing you mentioned about like your kids being super safe. Like if your kid gets lost in Disney, they have facial recognition in all of the parks that like.
Yes. But also that we've had so many situations we've been there where we'll have a mom run out of the store, yell a kid's name like she's misplaced the kid. Immediately you have 50 people turn around, assess the situation, and there's a mob looking for this kid. Like it is like everyone is there together. And like sometimes you rub elbows, you're trying to get to what you want to get to. But when something goes south, you're part of a community of people. They're like, we're going to fix this.
Archie, so where are you?
Yeah, where are you? Where are you?
Do you think it's a form of escapism?
I mean, maybe a little bit. Yeah, but I don't think that's bad. I think everybody needs a little break. And I think sometimes people can use that as a way to just step out of kind of what they're going through. But I don't think it's necessarily used in a bad way, but we use it to, obviously vacation is a form of escapism anyway. So I guess I have to say yes to that, because it is just cut in a completely different way than any other part of reality in the US, in the world. And it is a pretty happy place. It is nice to be in a place where you feel like the people that work there aren't mad that you're there. Ooh. That goes a long way, especially on a vacation. So if you need that little bit of oxygen, that little bit of peace, a little bit of escapism, I mean, yeah, I could see that. And sometimes we have used like a weekend trip just to bug the heck out and get out of Dodge and escape kind of what's going on, right? But I don't think it's all escapism. I don't. But we have used it that way before.
What isn't escapism?
Good point. I mean,
social media. Doom scrolling, watching movies, watching Netflix, going on vacations, going to the beach house, like every video games, everything we do is
entertainment of any kind.
Yes.
Is a form of escapism for you to step out of your story and consider another experience.
Yes.
I don't think that's an insult. I think that that's just the entertainment, the nature of humans interacting with entertainment.
Yeah. And how you choose that, why does it matter? Whatever that is, as long as it's not hurting other people, what does it matter?
Yeah. I mean, I agree. Yeah. Don't yuck my yum, bro.
That's probably one of the greatest lines I've ever heard. That's gonna be the short for the social media.
Great. Perfect.
Don't yuck my yum. Oh my God, that's brilliant.
Shout out to Zay Frank for that 20 years ago, I think.
Okay, well that's awesome. Yeah, so I think everything is escapism, and I think shaming people for the thing they choose is really stupid. And I'm not sure when Disney adults got so cringe for an entire generation of people, but we all do something that's cringe if you just look at it a certain way. So why do we care?
Why do we care? Your hat says it all, I think. Yeah, look at that hat, guys, right there. Those of you that are listening, it says "Stay Weird." It's one of my favorite hats. But yeah, I mean, we are all weird. We're all a little different. We all have different interests. We all lean into something that gives us a little hope, a little happiness. And, you know, like you said, if it's not hurting anybody else, I mean, you know, lean into it. Nothing wrong with it.
Agreed.
Flex your weird.
Flex your weird. What do you actually do in the parks as an adult?
Okay. So me and Aaron, we have like I said earlier, the rituals, right? We go down like Magic Kingdom, go down Main Street, kind of chill out, Starbucks, watch the castle, listen, take it in, maybe do a couple of rides. You know, she loves Small World.
Mm-hmm.
We love Haunted Mansion. We kind of hit a few of those. She hates Country Bear, so I make her do that. I don't make her. We usually skip that now. They have a new one, a new show, but you know, whatever. At least it didn't go the way of the Muppets. But no, we do some rides. We have things that we like to eat. We have a path we like to take. It's just kind of going down the roads we usually go down. It's you know, Carousel of Progress. It's People Mover, and then we just kind of have a flow. We stop and eat lunch, and then do a couple other things, and you know, we're usually done like by around 5 p.m. So we're not like, you know, death marching through the park. We're going at a pretty slow pace, and then we'll go hit another park. But like, we pretty much cover most of the major rides in a day. We don't do a lot of the kids stuff unless we're with kids. So, you know, we're not that weird.
We are. Yeah, no, I'm with you. I think it's whatever you're feeling, you know, like it's just, you're kind of going through, you have the things we're going to get into the things we like to hit as one of the last questions. So more to come on that. But yeah, it's whatever. Cause once again, the park isn't just made for children. Like there's so much to do. If you're asking that question, you probably don't know enough about the park.
Yeah, that's a good point. And if you do know enough about the park, then there's nothing that you're anxious that you've missed, because then you can just kind of go. Here's a pro tip. You see a crowd moving, go against the crowd. Move where they're moving away from, and you will have a nice experience. So America, everyone goes right. So when you're in the park, go left. Everywhere, go left. Yes. That will save you time. It will be a more interesting path always.
A couple other pro tips. If you've seen fireworks, go ride rides while everybody's watching fireworks. That's an easy one.
Yes.
Stay on premises so you can get it a half an hour early. You can probably get 2 rides in that amount of time, right? So hit them early, and then you can get breakfast while everybody's rope dropping everything else. And then you can just catch these little pockets of things just to, because I think the main thing people get concerned about is I'm going to pay a shitload of money and I'm just going to stand in line. And there are ways around that. So
I love those tips.
Yeah, to me, it's food, the rides we want to ride, and then just even like we're notorious for going hard in the morning, leaving in the middle of the day when it's hottest, going and taking a nap, and then going back to a different park in the evening.
Great approach.
And then riding it out till, I don't know, 8, 9 o'clock, whatever we're feeling.
Yeah, there you go.
Because the middle of the day is hot and people get really agitated.
It is. And to your point, ride rides when there's fireworks, and don't take pictures and videos of fireworks. They're all terrible. You're never going to look at them again. That is like one hill I will die on. Stop taking pictures of fireworks. Put your hands down and just stare at them with your human eyeballs.
So this little catch-all was eat, laugh, ride roller coasters. Yeah, we did it after winning a Toy Story Mania, you know. What? So I have never won a Toy Story Mania against Mike because for some reason his forearms are stronger than mine.
Look, I have a 2-hour forearm and grip workout every Sunday. You're never going to beat me on that front. But they are changing that game, I think. Oh, you said Toy Story Mania. I'm thinking Buzz Lightyear. Toy Story Mania, yeah, you know. You got to get them warmed up.
Yeah, that's I cannot beat this guy. It's very annoying to me. If you know what we're saying, you know what we're saying. It's an amazing game.
You know what's up.
Isn't the fandom kind of cringy sometimes?
Ooh, so that is where I like strongly disagree, because I don't believe like you know, people talk about like oh God, like that song Their Shame to say they like I have issue with that, right? I have no shame for anything. So I don't believe that it is cringe in any way, because if you care about it and you're passionate about it, like that's not cringe, that's passion, and that's okay. And yeah, it looks kind of weird from the outside if you're not familiar with it or you haven't seen it before. But to our point earlier, like, I mean, it's the same thing as a sports fan. Like people that go to an event that pay $1,000 to go to a game, they're insane, in my opinion. They're cringy. But no, I don't think that's cringe. I don't think this is cringe at all. I think it's just someone's insecurity coming out saying that because they don't understand it. And that's okay. They might one day. I don't know.
I'm with you. I think the word cringe is used just because of ignorance.
I think
And
so.
I don't mean ignorance in a bad way. It's just there's plenty of things that I think probably are cringy. And I just don't know enough about them to understand the passion behind it. Right. Or you haven't
Yeah.
experienced something in your life that connects you to that thing. It's not cringe. It's just me being an asshole sometimes in my head of actually judging someone else's passion. Who gives a shit? Like, and I have to check myself, just like we all need to check ourselves. Like, if they're into something, once again, it's not hurting anyone. Why does it
Yeah.
matter?
And if I don't understand why a person is connected to that, why does that make me look negatively on them?
Correct.
Because they have a connection. It's clearly built and baked into passion for something, which we all have, hopefully.
Yeah, I think that's a beautiful way to live, right? So if you have something you really look forward to, like it makes everything else, it makes the bad days manageable.
Yeah.
Like purpose goes a long way in having, I think, a fulfilled, happy life.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So yeah, the whole like cringe thing, I don't see cringe in any of it. And you know, I'm sure people look at me. I mean, when I go to the gym, I look like a child of the 80s in the gym. So people probably look at me as like, why is that guy dressed like that? That's weird and cringy. I'm like, fine. That doesn't change the way I approach anything.
Yes.
But
For those
you
of
know,
you who don't know, he looks like a 1980s snowsuit, but in shorts and a t-shirt and headphones.
boy, I'm blushing right now. Boy, you know how to get a guy going, huh?
Oh my god, that's what you're dealing with. He stays weird on all levels.
It's true.
Will you ever grow out of it?
Man, as long as the parks keep evolving a little bit the way they have been to make it a new experience and familiar at the same time, I don't really see us growing out of it. Like if prices explode and skyrocket to like 10x what they are now and we can't afford it, maybe. But if it goes on the same trajectory it has been for like the last decade, I can see us continuing to go there for a long time. So yeah, I can't think of a reason we wouldn't. I mean, obviously in the 90s, the parks had some issues. There are different eras of the parks that kind of pushed people out because of the design, the rides, whatever. But I think we're in a really good time now where they're competing enough with Universal. They have the right direction, even without that competition, to where they are kind of moving in a nice trajectory of new things. The old things get changed a little bit. But Muppets are leaving, so I don't know. That might change everything.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think Epic Universe is only a bonus to that whole area. I think that just like, as long as it's not a monopoly, that's the best thing for innovation is pressure and competition. So I think that's going to be a super. I'm with you. As long as the park keeps evolving and bettering itself, I think that's with anything. To me, Disney is my Outer Banks, the way some people say it. So I go there. It's warm. It's a great place. It's great in February for those who've never been there. It's usually cold enough. You can wear a sweatshirt all day and it is baller.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't growing out of it, like unless something happens that I'm like, don't love that, or it just falls apart, which I don't see happening.
What would have to change for it to just push us out and like, you know what? We're done with you, Disney. Like, what would that be?
I don't know. There's
Like
probably
maintenance?
plenty of people out there who are already there, but I think if you really want to get into that, when it comes to big business, you could probably think about that for a lot of things.
Yeah,
Like,
absolutely.
do you buy stuff on Amazon? Well, if you look at local, stores and stuff.
Yeah, we all try not to buy stuff on Amazon, but it's still a better experience.
They crack the code. It's service, it's quickness, and they have almost everything, right? So I don't know. Yeah, maybe it's maintenance, service, upkeep, but like the refurbishments, there's always construction. If you're a construction company in that area, you always have work. And they do a great job at like hiding it while they're refurbing, while they're keeping the parks open.
That's a good point. So you're never just staring at like busted concrete. Like
Never.
that would lose a little bit of the magic. Yeah, if they do pretty it up quite a bit, it is hard to see. It is always exciting when you get a glimpse of like a behind the scenes construction thing. It's always like, ooh, look at that. Because they do a good job of keeping, the general population from seeing all that destruction.
Maybe that's why we love the People Mover, because we got to see Tron being built.
Probably. It's like we're sneaking behind the scenes. Like, we shouldn't be here.
There's a pile of sand.
Look at all that crap just sitting there. How embarrassing. I love it.
I mean, that's what's going on with Test Track, right? Can't wait to see those boards down. And even Epcot during the new, like in the middle of the park that was completely split with boards all over the place. That's wonderful now.
Yeah, it's cool.
So yeah, now there's not much unless, I'm with you. Pricing gets out of control, or to me, if the value's not there, that's what would change.
Yeah.
If I don't get value out of the experience I'm getting versus what we're paying, then to me, that's with anything though. That's why I won't go back to certain places. Why I'll never go back and stay at the Rainbow Tower in Waikiki Beach in Hawaii, because it was a disaster and there was no value.
I love that. I love that. You heard it here first, people.
You haven't. Man. It's on my channel and I talk quite openly about it.
I've heard you talk about it.
Yeah, I know. You went to the same resort but stayed in a different tower and had a wonderful experience.
Yeah, your tower was crap, bro.
It was so gross. Okay, last question's bonus question. This is my personal question. I added to it. So I'll give it to you in stages.
All right.
Your perfect Disney day, no restrictions. We're starting with, where are you staying?
Oh, man. No restrictions? So, like, the beach club is like our spot, and there are more expensive resorts. It is like on the top tier. But I think we love that location so much. The walk to the park, like Epcot, Hollywood Studios, like the situation getting in there is so nice. And like you have a few different transportation systems to pick from. And then the walk back is equally as nice. So I think that's where we're staying. I know that's a real boring answer because we always stay there.
No, it's not. Okay.
But like, I mean, we've stayed at quite a few different resorts, but we just always end up like going back to our home resort in the beach club.
So besides the location, what's one other thing you love about the beach club?
Well, I think it is. So it's pretty big. It is a really nice, tranquil spot at night. So on the water, kind of looking over at the boardwalk. I love seeing the reflection of the lights at night and just hearing boats and water. Like it's calming, it's soothing. And then the shadow of people like walking around that cove is kind of sweet. Like seeing just people moving down it. And when it gets quiet at night, I don't know. I like the boardwalk at night.
Yeah.
Because there's a few moments when it's quiet there, you forget you're at Disney World.
Yes. You
could be in a few different spots, but there are moments where you forget where you are because of how it's constructed, what you're seeing, what you're hearing. It's just nice. It's just nice. We've had a lot of memories there with the nieces and had a lot of really good trips there, seeing you guys there and all that stuff. Like, it's just a really good spot for us.
Breakfast, lunch, and dinner on your perfect day. Where are you going? Okay. No restrictions.
No restrictions. So breakfast is going to be like Magic Kingdom, Castle, Princess breakfast. It's fine with, the princesses moving around. They don't need to be a part of this. Like, I just want my steak. That's what I want. That's fine.
Tell people why. Why is it so good?
Well, it is like it's always perfectly cooked.
Yes.
They know how to do medium rare the right way. As a Texan, I'm very picky with my meat. But it's just, the presentation is great. The food's great. The service is great. And like, I don't know, man, it's just a really good spot. And just looking out the stained glass windows at the carousel, and it's a cool spot. It's just a cool spot.
Other pro tip there on that, if you've never done that, get the earliest reservation you can, because you get into the park early. You literally can show your reservation and walk in. You'll be into Magic Kingdom before anybody else is allowed in. It's a very cool. Yeah. Once again, if you talk about sounds and realizing where you are at that moment, it's one of those times where you're walking, looking around going, this is very weird, because you never get in the park when you're alone. And it's one of those scenarios where you can actually do that.
Yeah, you do get a quiet moment with the castle, and you get a good 5 minutes where you can take really great pictures with no other humans in them.
Ooh.
And it's totally fine, and no one's chasing you with a stick. All right. It's great. It's great.
That's a great
Never
point.
Been chased by security at Disney, for the record. But
okay. Lunch.
Lunch. Okay. I'm going to have to say like Hollywood Studios, Pizza Rizzo's, the Muppet Pavilion, RIP. I'm sorry. I'm leaning into this, but there's a room upstairs, Pizza Rizzo's, that is like a dance hall. It's got a dance floor. It has a mirror ball.
HALL.
Yes, HALL. But it's just a cool spot that, like, if you know it's there, you know it's there. They play disco music. It's like you're at a cheesy wedding reception in the 70s. And it's really cool. It's fun. It's one of those moments where it's like, this room doesn't need to be here, but they've built it out. The lighting's fun. There's a mirror ball. The music's fun. It's like a party. There's kids dancing. There's people dancing on the dance floor. It's just kind of a neat atmosphere. So, like, that's a cool spot for us to spend lunch, which is what we usually do when we go to Hollywood Studios.
Yeah, and it's tucked away. Not many people know about it. It's almost like a secret spot, which is probably why you love it so much.
It is. Yeah. What about you?
I'm going through your list first. Dinner.
Oh, okay. Dinner, man, probably like the Le Cellier, Canada. Just go back to red meat. The steaks are so good. The food's really good.
The sides.
Big fan of that. The sides, man, that place is a really good steakhouse.
It's very
inside of a Disney park. And you don't, like, we went there for the first time. I'm like, oh, this is kind of neat. Like, whatever. You walk into like a Disney steakhouse, you expect to get like, you know, a ribeye, like medium to medium well, overcooked, kind of stiff, like whatever. You know what you're getting into. But we went there. I'm like, oh my gosh, like, we have a filet. They know how to cook their filet. Their sides are really good. Everything's really good. And like every time we go there, like, it's like, we have to go back. Because it's just one of those things where it's like, this is really too good to be in a theme park.
It's 100% too good.
This deserves to have its place outside of Epcot, but I'm happy it's here.
Yeah, and the ambiance is incredible. You're at the bottom of a mountain and it's dimly lit.
Yeah. It takes you out of the park. It's one of those moments where it's like you might forget you're at Disney World
100%.
or Epcot, and you step outside and you hear all the music and all the kids like, oh yeah. And
you're full of shit.
Right. You're just kind of waddling back to the beach club. Like,
so if you've never been there, the mac and cheese is on a different planet. And yeah, there's not, I mean, the steaks are incredible. And the food is just, it's really top notch.
Yeah. Yeah.
You will pay for it for sure.
You will, but worth it.
Okay. 5 rides.
5 rides.
No restrictions.
So, I mean, no restrictions. So Guardians, obviously.
In order. What order are you doing?
Oh, what order? Oh my God. Okay. So if we're going to start the day at Magic Kingdom, got to go Haunted Mansion. Got to go People Mover.
You could have put People Mover in the 5 rides?
It's an OG, bro. Got to do it.
I can't believe you're going to waste one on the People Mover.
I may have mislabeled these 5, but I'm sticking with it. People Mover, classic. Everybody loves it. And we're going to leave Magic Kingdom.
I hope so.
Straight to Hollywood Studios.
Okay.
Tower of Terror.
Really? In your top 5?
Tower of Terror.
Okay, so you can take People Mover off if you want. I want your actual top 5.
Okay, so that's 2. Okay.
Is Haunted Mansion actually in your top 5?
I love Haunted Mansion.
Okay.
I love Haunted Mansion. Are we just talking about Disney World or Land as well?
World only. I've never been to Land.
Okay. You need to go to Land around Christmas time and ride the Haunted Mansion when The Nightmare Before Christmas reskins it to almost a completely different ride. Like, they don't just like drape snow over something. It transforms. Anyway. Yeah, I love Haunted Mansion.
Okay.
It's great.
Okay.
So Haunted Mansion, you go over to Hollywood Studios, Tower of Terror.
Why do you love Tower so much?
Well, I mean, I love the design of the exterior. And then as you walk through the line, I love the evolution of that queue because it does really, it's a well built out themed space done the right way. And it's remained pretty much unchanged from the day they built it. And so it has like this weird old feel that works, and they don't need to update it. And so, like, if you go to Disneyland, like, that elevator drop ride is a Guardians of the Galaxy ride, which is fun. It's great. It's a party, but I really like the Haunted Mansion version. And there's always somebody like in the cart, in the elevator cart, that doesn't know the ride leaves the first shaft and rolls to where it drops. And so, like, seeing people's reaction when that starts and they don't know it, it's really funny. It's really funny. So it's just the energy on that ride's good. So I guess that's number 2. Rise of the Resistance. Star Wars fan. Love the technical nature of that ride in every single way. And every time I ride it, I try to break down another part of it. And like, how did they do that? How did they build that? And I really love that one. So from there, I think we have to go to Epcot. I think we're going to save the Guardians ride for the last one. Soarin', really, really fun hitting that one, and then probably doing Guardians. I think that's 5.
Yeah.
I think that's 5.
It's a good list. It's a good list.
Yeah, it's a tough 5 is tough.
5
I
is
think that's
tough.
how we'd feel it. Yeah, 5 is tough.
Okay.
I had to kick out the People Mover.
You had to kick out Avatar.
Yeah, Avatar's cool. I like Avatar, but Animal Kingdom is such like a 2-hour park for me now. It's almost not worth going there for that. And I love the way it's built out. It's pretty. It's beautiful. I love the animals. If you go in the morning, the safari's awesome. If you go anytime after 10, they're all sleeping and there's not a whole lot going on. So if you hit it early, that's cool. But everyone runs to the Avatar ride. So no one really gets to do the safari unless they're a little late to the park. So
yeah, another pro tip there, or not a pro tip, an experience we had, which was pretty incredible. Last time we rode safari together, we saw the live action Mufasa roar at us.
Yes,
on the safari. That was insane.
We did. And also we were eye level with the butthole of a giraffe doing its thing. Opening and closing like a camera aperture. It was like what a way to start your day, guys.
kicked it off the right way. Okay.
Like this guy knows how to party.
One piece of merchandise you were buying.
Oh man. Probably if there's like a really cool, fun bit of like Muppet gear, I always have an eye out for that. But also Figment, like if there's a really good Figment shirt, like I'm always hoping there's like a new Figment shirt. And it's almost gotten so bad to where I've almost bought like the Figment popcorn bucket. But thank goodness they were so big. I'm like, I don't have room to take that home. But yeah, anything Figment, anything Muppets, I always have an eye out for. Outside of that, like we don't buy a ton of like magic bands. Like I'm not really into that. Like some people will buy a magic band for like a park. Like I just need one. Like they all do the same thing.
We have the ones you can't buy anymore.
Yeah, we do. I still wear mine to the park too.
We flash it around.
Occasionally someone will see it. I'm like, you know.
What is that? IYKYK?
Yeah. Yes.
Oh my gosh. Okay, that's cool. One snack.
Oh man, I love going hard on a churro.
Any dipping sauce?
Caramel, or chocolate, but caramel. Like I love, caramel and churro, man. Oh yeah,
best churro spot.
There's a Cart in Magic Kingdom. It's always consistent, easy, straightforward. The cool thing about the snacks at Disney, like if you get like the standard like churro, hot dog, popcorn, those are really good. Oh, the egg rolls, the cheeseburger and pizza egg.
Oh, I was wondering if you were going to remember that.
I have to change my answer, man. It's the egg rolls, the cheeseburger, egg rolls. You go into Magic Kingdom, you take a left, like you're going to, the whatever the ride
Pirates
is.
area, Adventureland.
Pirates area. Right before you enter into like the Frontierland, there is a cart right there that will have typically cheeseburger and pizza egg rolls. So good. So good. Buy both, eat them all. Man, it's good.
It's never busy either. For some reason, people don't know about it.
Yeah, because there's always kids getting popcorn on the other side at the other kiosks. There's people running around with hot dogs. Like you can have those. That's fine. But yeah, pizza egg rolls and cheeseburger egg rolls, really freaking good.
Yep. Which fireworks show are you watching?
Magic Kingdom's pretty good. I think I like the one at Epcot a little bit better, just because I like all the water there. But Magic Kingdom's pretty good, but I'd probably go Epcot. Epcot's the one that we like to see because that's a fun walk back to the resort for us. So it's a kind of nice wind down after you watch the show.
Love it. Okay, where am I staying? I'm with you. I'm probably staying at Beach Club. I have a really soft spot for the Riviera, but that's just because it's the first place Jenny and I went together back to Disney since so I had a break from when I was 11 until we went back the year we went to Star Wars and our first 5 days. I love that place.
Mountain topping the resort when you like come back to that is a great spot, especially for like no kids.
Yes,
great spot.
It has an adult only pool. The smell is as good or better than the Beach Club. Like rooms were incredible. The views were incredible. It has the Skyliner, obviously, which gets you to 2 of the parks. But Beach Club is nostalgic now. We love it so much. And its location. Like there's not a better location between Boardwalk and Beach Club. I'm with you because I love Epcot.
Yeah, Beach Club gym is bigger than the one in Riviera, just for the record. So Beach Club has a nice gym. That's another bonus.
And Beach Club has the best pool in all the resorts.
Yeah.
It's being refurbed though right now. Breakfast. We're going right into Epcot and going to the French Bakery.
Oh, see, that's what Aaron would say. Yeah, Aaron would shoot me if I dragged her that before the French Bakery. Yeah, she loves the French. It's so good, dude. It's so good.
It's so good. Everybody's like from France. So it's like you get such an experience. The food is so consistent. It's pre-made. The line can get super long. Don't even worry about it. Even if it's out the door, you'll be through the line in 20 minutes or under. Like the way they process it, get the croissants, get the sandwiches, get whatever you want. The quiche is incredible as well. Like that is my go-to spot for breakfast. I think about it all the time. And I'm a breakfast monster.
That's a good breakfast.
Lunch. Probably. I'm probably going to say the one you took us to, which was the Toy Story barbecue place.
The barbecue, the Woody's like rodeo roundup barbecue. That was really good. And a lot of food. That one you have to be careful with because they bring out, it's unlimited servings of barbecue. And it's pretty good. Really good barbecue.
Yes.
But it's a lot. It's a lot of food.
Actually, I'm changing my answer.
Okay.
Because it's too much food.
Okay.
Because of that reason.
It's fair. What is it?
My favorite lunch is the bottom of the Riviera. Their service food has the greatest grilled chicken sandwich you'll ever have on the planet. It's in Focaccia. It is so freaking good. I made a special trip on the Skyliner from Beach Club just to go get the chicken sandwich last time I was there. Jenny's like, where are you going? I'm like, I'm going to get my chicken sandwich.
Every time we talk about food at Disney, that sandwich comes up with Brandon.
It's incredible.
He loves it.
So if you've never had it, go to, I think it's Primados, I think it's called. Is that
something like that? Yeah. But once again, it's another one of those things that is too good to be at a Disney resort or park. Like, this is really good.
There's a really awesome open concept bar at Riviera too, right by the pool. So just a really cool spot. So yeah, that's where I'm going for my chicken sandwich because it'll be light enough that I can keep going for the rest of the day. Perfect. And then dinner. I love Les Cellier. That was really good.
That's so good. Copycat.
I'm going to go with where I know Jenny can eat. And I know it's a cop-out, but she loves the American Pavilion because of the rotisserie barbecue chicken.
Okay. Once again, very good barbecue. We slept on that for years. And then Disney Plus had a show about how they like chose their food and how they made the menu for that restaurant. And we were like, we got to try it. And holy crap, dude, that chicken is really good. Yeah. Like you just barehanded meat.
Well, like everything they have there is really good. Their sides are excellent. I think they have cornbread as well, I think. And so the barbecue there, if you're looking for something that's not going to be super crazy, super spicy, because we got to watch out for spices and things like that. And it's consistent. And usually you can find a table. It does get kind of packed, but they even have an outdoor service if you want to grab it and go find another place to eat because there's plenty of places to sit at Epcot. That's what I love about it. But yeah, we love the American Pavilion because I think it's super consistent. So yeah, we go to Epcot and eat at the American place. It's ridiculous, but
really good. Really good.
5 rides.
5's tough, man.
It is tough.
What park are you starting with?
I'm going to start... I'm with you. I want to end in Epcot because then I can walk home.
Yeah.
So I'm probably starting in Magic like you did.
Okay.
What do I want to do in Magic? I love Haunted Mansion, but do I want it to be in the top 5? I'm probably going to spend a lot of time. To me, I honestly could go Hollywood and Epcot only.
There's enough there. Probably
Kick in Slinky I love Slinky
Slinky's
Dog
good.
so
Smooth
much.
coaster. A lot of fun.
Super fun. And it's usually hard to get on. I'm with you. I found a newfound love for Tower. It'd probably be number 2 for me.
Yeah.
I don't actually like the feeling, but never knowing how many, and I'm with you,
Yes.
watching people react to like, just like I'm hanging on, people are grabbing onto people's arm. You don't even know who's grabbing your arm because everybody's freaking out. It's just, the whole riding experience I think is really cool. And then watching my nephews ride it was like so funny because they were so scared about what was coming. Because when you open the doors and you're rolling through that really creepy, that always like I remember riding when I was 11. It's pre-scary. You're like, okay, this is
because you think you're just going to go up and down, and all of a sudden there's this other plane of movement introduced, and you're like, wait a minute, anything could happen now.
Totally agree. Yeah, totally agree. So Tower's in that group for me. I'm actually not picking any of the Star Wars rides, even though I love them. For some reason, they don't trigger as much as they probably used to. I'm really close to putting Mickey and Minnie's Railway in there, but I'm not going to.
I almost did. Yeah.
I also love that ride very much too. Indiana Jones is no, I'm just kidding.
Wow. This was about to be a problem. Okay.
So then my last 3, I'm probably going to Epcot. I love Soarin'.
Yeah, good. So good.
I'm ending with Cosmic as well. What am I doing as 4?
That's tough.
I'm going through.
That's 3 Caballeros. I mean, that could be.
That's really
on top of Aaron's list.
That's really good too. Going back to Magic, I do love Pirates.
Pirates is good. Yeah.
For some reason, I just liked all the animatronics. I like the dark. I like the big ship room. I think that's really cool.
I love the old school animatronics that like look not quite human, but it's like, you know what? I'm okay with that.
The pig guy is like my favorite. The guy who's sleeping with the pigs.
He's just the worst.
He's amazing. He's all like hammered.
Drunk guy with the pigs.
Yeah. So I'm not. I like. That's probably my 5.
Those are good. That's a good list.
Tough. I didn't choose Avatar either.
But there's just Animal Kingdom. Like, I hate that it's such an afterthought of a park now.
Well, now when Indiana Jones comes in, I think it's going to change.
That's going to be, it's going to be great. It's going to be great. That's going to be the ride system's really good. You have that at land. Like, it's a really fun ride with Indiana Jones. I'm curious to see if they update that at all. But like, that's going to be fun. I hope they have a little more indie stuff in that part of the park.
Agreed. I love Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
I love those movies. One piece of merchandise. Well, it's either between a hat or a sweatshirt. I've been all into the sweatshirts lately, so I'm going to go with the sweatshirts.
Nice.
Because I probably wear them more often. One snack. Oh.
It's tough, man.
That's really, really tough.
Me and Aaron still talk about that Pop-Tart at the Food and Wine Festival or the Art Festival.
Jenny does too.
That great Pop-Tart, dude. Oh, my gosh.
That's the other thing. It's not just like the main foods that changed. All the snacks changed during this stuff. And like there's stuff you'll only be able to get when that's going on. And they really know how to get you. So snack. It's between 2.
Okay.
So I know I'm cheating, but I'm going to do it anyway. It's a Guinness at the Rose and Crown.
Ooh.
Because I love the England Pavilion. I love shopping in there. I love the Rose and Crown. I love Guinness and the pub style because I've never been to a real one yet. So, or I screwed up lunch as well. I'm thinking about it. Or it's the giant Bavarian pretzel at the beer garden at Hollywood Studios with the beer cheese.
Boy, that's a whole different pretzel right there. That's a whole different
and it's
beast.
like it's a mini beer garden that doesn't get a lot of attention. It's such a chill spot. It's right in the heart of everything. It's right outside of Star Wars. It's right outside of Top Star Tours. And it's like charcuterie board. You can get a pretzel. You can get a beer. And like there's always tables available because people don't think they can take their kids in, but you can.
It's funny because like the crowd going around it to and from the things around it is huge. So it's like you walk by it and you think there's no way there's availability there. But if you hit it like right on the edge, like before and after like peak eating times, you just walk right in.
Yeah.
And it's like really great because like the people that work there know it's like a nice little secret spot.
I literally say thank you every time I walk in. They're like, for what? I'm like, for being calm.
Yeah. Thank you for this oasis.
They got a wine on tap. They got a bunch of beers on tap. It's a great spot. And I love Epcot at night, but Hollywood has a really good ambiance at night.
It
Like
does.
they
The
lower the
neon.
lights. Yeah. And then Main Street's like
Yeah.
old school Hollywood. Yeah. I'm a huge fan
Yeah.
of
I
that.
think I'm typically the only one in our group that wants to see Hollywood at night. Like everyone else wants to go to Epcot and kind of do that and kind of cruise through it. But I love Hollywood at night.
Yeah.
You're right,
Epcot
man.
gets a
That is
little
pretty.
saucy at night.
It does. You got the group, the drinking around the world people that make it like they'll make it 60% of the way through around 8 p.m. And that's when it's just like the Walking Dead around there. And you have people that are still trying to power through it. And then you have the people sitting down, reevaluating their life.
Yeah.
It's a weird spot at night sometimes.
Yeah.
Right.
Fireworks show for me, same as you, Epcot, mostly because you're not all congregated to one area. You have a giant lake
Yeah.
and you
Mhm.
never like you can find a ton of spots to watch. You don't have to be right up
Yeah.
on the water. Almost the entire park can probably see the fireworks from a lot of places. Where Magic Kingdom, I feel like you're so stuck into this V.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. What was your lunch? You said you were going to change your lunch. What was your lunch thing?
Dude, and this is just recent. This was those little hamburger pods in Animal Kingdom right outside Avatar.
Dude, that Avatar food there is so good, man. That you can get like an ahi tuna bowl situation.
Yeah.
And like
They have these little hamburger like
those hamburgers are good.
Hamburger dough pods, but they taste just like a McDonald's hamburger because there's little chunks of pickle in it.
It's a bao bun, so it's like a steamed bun with hamburger. Oh, it's so good.
So that or the chicken sandwich. I'm not sure which one I would pick there, but
they're both good, man. They're both good. And that's one of those things where it's like people start at Avatar, so there aren't a lot of people that are like around there around lunchtime because they get tired and they kind of move on to the other part of the park. So it's not always crowded in that like food spot there.
Yes.
So it's kind of nice.
Agreed.
Yeah.
And there's blue and green beer station right outside. So you can also do that there. There's a sweet little lunch area that not a lot of people take advantage of.
It is. And speaking of pretty at night, like if they would leave that park open when it gets dark,
I know
spending time in that land is one of the coolest things you can do. But they close at like, I don't know, 7 or something.
Yeah, I still haven't seen it at night.
You don't even get to see it at night. It's beautiful at night.
Yeah, the concrete glows.
Yeah, the bioluminescence everywhere. The fake bioluminescence. It's not bio. What's fake bioluminescence? Just luminescence? Is that what it is?
Artificial. Well, that is all my questions, man. Thank you for coming on and doing this with me. This was quite nostalgic. Now I want to go book our next trip.
All right, when are we going?
I don't know. Guess next year.
All right, sounds good. You tell me when.
Well, thank you for coming on. Remember, 8-Boot Blood on YouTube if you want to check out his red carpet stuff. And you're doing some marketing and YouTube and content stuff for your local gym, which is pretty fun. And really your local workout people. You're doing a couple of things right now.
It's true. All the things.
Staying
filming,
yoked.
Working out. Always jacked and juicy, succulent and stacked, ready to attack at any time.
Oh my gosh. Well, thank you. That was an hour and 17 minutes talking about Disney. Hopefully everybody who hates Disney adults stuck around. And if you love Disney, hopefully that was a bit nostalgic for you as well. But yeah, those are the Disney adults, 10 things you secretly want to know that you may not always ask, or you may just yell on YouTube about Disney adults. So thank you for coming on.